One, two, three. So I've always had this vision of like when I have all this money and I can in theory do just nothing at all and be alright. What's the point of money then? Welcome to Ramblings with Abdullah. Very much happy to have you with me on this existential ramblings of mine. I'm trying a new video idea out with no script this time. Yeah. But yeah, it's been like years now at this point, but a lot of my goals have been money centric in one way or another for the past few years ish. Whether it's how much money I wanted to make in my freelancing, or how much money I wanted to make in the first year of business, or just other metrics like that. And there's always a voice that comes up in the back of your mind of like, okay, sure, but like what? What's the point of it? What is it all for? Is it for comfort? Is it some form of status? Or is it some form of egoism that is somewhere inherently laden inside it? Just like the value of money itself, because well, money is kind of a social credit thing ish. Like, hey, you provided this much value to society, you have the currency to buy or get however amount or type of thing X. And that's it. But everyone, of course, values money for different reasons. Some people value it as like, oh, this way I can flex on Mary and Joseph and John and whoever the heck else. And for some, they like to use it for travel or to really love buying cars up or other stuff like that. And for some other people, they just like to use it to travel or buy the newest game consoles or iPhones or whatever else. So it serves a different purpose in everybody else's life, yeah, according to the things that they value and they desire. It's just a medium to access that. But then you have to somewhere make the differentiation between having money and having wealth, and how much is enough and what qualifies as wealth. Like that whole idea of what is enough. Like how much do you classify as the number that yes, if I had that, then I would be happy, and why? I think the biggest value when it comes to money, the biggest utility it has is just giving you options, not making you feel trapped in any set course of anything that you're doing. Really, you're not trapped in where you live, in who you're talking to, in who you're working with, in what you are eating, in treating health conditions, in whatever else. You have options. You're not stuck. I've had so many freaking situations by now at this point where I was just like, okay, if I if I wasn't broke, if I just had enough money, I wouldn't be dealing with this. I wouldn't be in this problem. I would be in this circumstance. I wouldn't have to just grit my teeth and nod my head and just make the time pass until I'm out of it. If I just wasn't broke. if I just had the options, because honestly, sorry, I believe that is the single most actually valuable usage of money is to take away problems. Sure, it won't make you happy. Probably not. Honestly, it may make you miserable in quite a few ways, but at least you won't have problems. Like, you're not gonna be broke to go somewhere or to treat a health condition or to live a particular place that you want or be stuck in a job with people that you hate or live in an area that you absolutely just do not like. You won't have these kinds of problems. Okay, so how much is enough to not have these problems? I think there's a concerning idea out there of the whole make 10K a month as a financial goal or as something that everyone should aspire to, and it's the end all be all, and everything is dandy fancy dooley after all of that. But that doesn't seem accurate either. Firstly, because 10K a month is just, if we're talking about pure living standards, that is feels like way more than you need to. Even in the first world country places of like America and the UK and Europe or whatever, I'm pretty sure that you can get by and live decently well for like what 3 4K ish. If we're talking in countries like where I'm at right now, you could live fairly alright with like $400 a month or like 500 ish. So when you're talking about 20 times that number and having it stapled as some kind of bare minimum necessity, especially when even if you don't like here, Egypt, you can go to other places like Thailand or Indonesia or just anywhere else that is not crumbling in real time as we speak. Then it makes 10K a month, and in turn, the whole idea of enough much more easily accessible in a way. And I mean, at the end of the day, the entire crux of this whole thing is the idea of freedom, the price of freedom, what it uh, and I think the central crux of this whole thing is the idea of freedom. How much do you need to be free? To not be constrained, to not be pushed, crammed, and forced into a box that you cannot escape. Freedom. That's honestly the single driving motivator for all of my 24-hour focused money achievement goals. Is to not be forced doing something that I do not want to do and be able to keep living a semi relaxed, normal, comfy ish kind of life. Or at least be able to choose the hardships that I want to go through in order for the things that I want. That is also a form of freedom in itself. And the things that you may need to sacrifice in order to pursue that, in order to have enough, and so your expenses being pushed down to the bare minimum that you need to live alright, decently, but not extravagantly, that becomes then a sacrifice for status. And that's what I think pushes up that number so absurdly high into 10,000 or 20 or 100K a month or a week or some other ludicrous stuff that you might see. Okay, so when you have enough, when all your needs are met, when you don't need to actively struggle and push for your very own survival, and you are pretty much just set for life. What then? What comes after? What is the point of it all? The best answer that I have found to that is that money cannot be a purpose. Like, it cannot be the end which you are trying to arrive to. It has to be a means to something that is actually purposeful. That's why, like, some people, their purpose is providing, and so money becomes a means to that, or accomplishing some big, gigantic, philanthropic kind of purpose. So they need as much money as they can for that. Is it like the whole thing with Steve Irwin, like purchasing endangered lands, even though he had millions of dollars, just because that was the purpose that he believed in? That sort of thing. And I think that's probably the best use of it. Like, deciding how you want to shape the world and then doing your very best you can in order to accomplish that through, yes, the means of money. And so a hunger or a lust for money becomes actually a good thing, ironically enough, if the purpose is good. It's weird how that works, but I think that's enough of my ramblings for one day. I'll be coming back to normal scripted videos the rest of the week and the rest of the foreseeable future. 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 And with that, bye.